All right, so let's jump into this, you all. So far we talked about how big the market is. So in this CARES program, we talked about contracting opportunity market, the $1 billion market. Where do you fit? What are they buying? The 4 sectors. We talk about how you can get in front of corporate clients all year long by creating a pipeline. If you missed any of these, let us know in the chat. We'll send you the links. Then last month, because I had a family emergency, we didn't do it like this, so I missed you all. I pre-recorded responding to RFPs like a pro. What is a go, no-go list? How do you not waste your time? How do you determine if the RFP is for you? And most importantly, how do you create an RFP buddy group? We should be doing that, you all, creating groups. Hey, Barbara, good to see you out of Connecticut. All right. Today, we're going to talk about evaluating your ecosystem. The 7 C's. Am I really, really, really ready? Because I'm going to tell y'all something that nobody talks about. It is expensive to say yes to a contract. We spend so much time going after the contract, but do you realize that when you say yes to a contract, what you're actually saying yes to is you might have to get insurance. You have to deliver. That means you have to pay for some stuff up front before you get paid. This is why, you all, they are checking your revenue. So let me put you on some game, because a lot of our members say, Dawn Nicole, that's not fair. I'm a small business. I haven't made $1 million yet. I haven't even hit $500,000 yet. Why are they locking me out of this contract? I will tell you why and how to overcome it. The reason why they care is because it is a high risk when they do business with you, because Yolanda, as you know, they have to make sure that you can afford to deliver on it, because they're not paying you until 30 days, sometimes 60 days, sometimes 90. That's called net 30, net 60, net 90. And Maria, as we know, if we say yes to the contract, but we don't have the capital, the money in the bank, right, to actually go pay for the things, pay for the insurance, pay people, because just because you're not getting paid as the prime for 90 days or 60 days, Teresa, your team, the people you bring on to help you deliver this big contract, is expecting to get paid either weekly, bi-weekly. You all, it costs to say yes. Nobody talks about that. I've had members who almost went to bankruptcy because the city of Charlotte, for a real example, did not pay them until 60 days later. Now, we try to educate you all to say, know the terms. You can even negotiate the terms, Barbara. There are some sweet deals in corporate, right, that where you can negotiate the terms. You can give them price breaks. You can give them discounts if they pay you early. There are things we're going to talk about. However, this is where your ecosystem matters. And in some cases, if you show them, Suzette, that you have a contract financing partner, that means a person, a company who will finance the upfront cost of your contract and get paid later. Sometimes you can use that as a strategy to get in the door. Let's talk about it. Let's go. So today we're talking about your ecosystem. This is a term that you rarely hear people talk about, but we want to normalize here at ProcuraFind. It is called your supplier ecosystem. And Sherry, a supplier ecosystem is really the network of people supporting you. We don't realize, I'm going to tell you all something. 5 years ago, everybody was trying to teach you how to tap into their ecosystem. Today in 2025, and as we go into a merit-based society where they don't care if you're a woman, a Black, Italian, they don't care what you are. We're now in a merit-based society where people need to show up ready. That means you are no longer training yourself to borrow other people's ecosystems. You must have it deep out in. You got to have it when you show up. It is your army, Teresa. So how do we start to rethink and normalize this concept of ecosystem? So the best way to think about it, Tasha Dash, is we should think about our supply chain ecosystem as the behind the scenes team, right? That serves you. This is the team, Amanda, that you need before you even get in the door. I will tell you a true story, Soyini. We had a member in ProcuraFind that was trying to do business with Lowe's, and she almost didn't get the deal. And the reason why she didn't get the deal is because she didn't have a point of sale system ready to go and become a concessionaire inside a Lowe's corporate campus. So she needed a POS system, y'all, and she needed a banking letter, a financial institution letter that says this particular vendor who sells juices is going to be financially okay if they don't break even at Lowe's. I want y'all to hear me, because these are the things we don't think about. So unbeknownst to her, she had to get a certain amount of insurance, because what if somebody gets sick drinking her juices at Lowe's? You need insurance, right? You need reps and warrants clauses. We don't know about this stuff until we enter it. We never heard of it. But this stuff protects you, Amanda, so that if you are a business advisor and you give maybe bad advice or advice where somebody goes bankrupt, it covers your company, right, from liability. This is why we need legal. If you're selling products and juice, and Dr. Monique May knows about this, right? This is why you need different things. But in this case, she almost didn't get the deal. Luckily, we had an ecosystem partner, right, at First Citizens Bank who helped her get in. This is the power of you being ready and staying ready before you need to get ready, okay? So let's get into it. I want you all today to think about this is how you arm yourself. Think of you in the middle. You are the core. But as you go to become a multi-million-dollar contractor, you're going to need to arm yourself with a network of people around you who are prospects, that means people you sell to, partners, people you lock arms with, peers, people who do what you do, and believers, the people who believe in you. Who are your believers? Who are the peers who do exactly what you do? Because when you need to, they become part of the team. They become people you might team up with. Okay. And then who are the prospects, people you're targeting? You should always have a top 5 list, and that list changes every 60 days. Okay. So let's go into it. So why is it necessary to build your own ecosystem, especially in this new normal, this political climate, y'all, where tariffs are high? People are now looking at domestic sellers. So they now want you to be US based, right? Taxes are high, right? We're in a climate that is volatile. And on top of all of that, everything has been rolled back. Everything you used to rely on. We've got to thank today's sponsors, our new online cares program, a 5-point formula for small businesses who are ready to compete for contracts at the highest level. If you are serious about getting in the game of contracting, but you don't know the lingo, maybe you won your first contract, but you want to know your next contract, you want to be intentional, then this course is for you. It is a 3.5-hour course with participant guides, knowledge checks, and so much more that helps you deep dive into the contracting opportunity market. From there, it's going to help you assess your ideal corporations. What do you research on? How do you find them? How do you get in front of multiple clients every single month? And how do you take the conversation from their supplier portal to LinkedIn to booking the call? We're also going to teach you how to respond to those RFPs like a pro. And we're going to teach you how to evaluate your ecosystem so that you are always ready. You don't have to get ready. Then with the S, we're going to teach you how to put together your supplier plan over the next 90 days so you can execute like a pro. The course allows you to deep dive at a self-paced level. You're going to love it. You get access for a lifetime. What are you waiting for? Thanks to our sponsors again of the CARES program, new online course has been rolled back. So nowadays, corporations are raising the bar. Trust me, I'm the most connected person you know. I talk to probably about 45 corporations a week in order to get them in the platform to you. So imagine what I have to go through and listen and learn in order to get these companies to you. And they tell me, Dawn Nicole, we're tired of pipelines of small businesses who don't have the capital. They can't afford to say yes to our contracts. Well, what are you gonna do? Right? If you don't give them the chance, they won't ever get the capital. So we're in a vicious cycle, right? You also, what do we do? And so my job is to advocate for them to make pardons or for you to be able to lock arm with the company who does have the revenue. These are the deals I'm making before we ever meet, you and I, on your behalf, because they're telling me, Tasha, we give chances and then we get dinged. We give chances and people can't deliver. And this is a bad look on the small business, right? So now we have to increase our revenue. So corporations, you all, they're now expecting you to show up ready to compete at the highest level. They're also expecting you to match the speed of opportunity. What that means, Teresa, is that you won't have time to get ready. At the time that you learn about the opportunity, you already have to have your army of resources and your capital in check and that credit score in check and be able to pass a bank's risk assessment, because that's the other thing. For those of you who are very, very interested in working with the banks, there is a rigorous risk assessment. What are your vulnerabilities? Do you have a data policy on your site? And it doesn't matter if you're not a tech company. If you are taking people's payments nowadays, they want to know, what is your policy for business continuity? What happens, Yolanda, if your site gets hacked and your customer data is breached? What are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps? What does your plan look like? You got to have that ready, but we're not thinking like that because some of us are still thinking small. If you collect payments, what happens if it gets breached? Do you have that written out? Do you have something written out that we don't share data? Do you have your Go Green plan? Do you know what going green looks like in your industry, right? It doesn't matter if you're a coach. Nowadays, what is your future forward sustainability plan? How are you contributing by not adding waste to the climate? Are you using digital business cards, coaches? These are things that they want to know. So again, corporations are raising the bar, speed of opportunity, resilience in uncertain economies like the one we're in right now. If you used to rely on China for your supply chain and the tariffs went up, how are you still staying in business? They want to know, right? And positioning for corporate and government contracts. So this is why today we must, with a capital M, go deep on who is in your ecosystem. So the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, is that in today's merit-based competitive market, a small business without a strong supplier ecosystem is like a house with no foundation. You're attractive on the outside, my friends, but you're vulnerable underneath. Very, very powerful, right, Danita? I know Danita loves these powerful pros. She just did us a training yesterday. So when you build your supplier ecosystem, and we're going to help you today, you're not just preparing for your contract, you're prepping to win, keep that contract, and continue to grow it. A lot of you just want, meaning you just come to me and you say, hey, I just want the connect, but you don't understand. I can't go to the company and just connect you without vouching that they do have their ecosystem intact. I have seen the business capability statement. I know that it's been updated in the past 60 or 90 days with new things on it. This is why staying connected to me is important, so I can be an advocate for you, because I'm bringing to you exactly what they're telling me every single week, every single month, okay? So who should be in the ecosystem? This is where you all want to open up your participant guides or lean into the screen. Let's talk about who should be in the ecosystem and why. There are 8 critical factors that should absolutely be in your ecosystem. Now, when I talk about this today, you all, if you don't have this, I do not want you to fret. I do not want somebody to say, oh my God, it's done. It is over. No, 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 no. This training and coaching segment is for us to do an analysis. If we don't do this, you won't know. Okay, just like in theater, because y'all know the other side of me is I'm a theater stage play director, so I liken a lot of things to theater. In theater, it is not until we take the script away during rehearsal that we know who doesn't know their lines. You have to do that piece. So today we're going deep, we're analyzing, right, to understand. So let's go deep. There are 8 pieces that we should have. Number 1, we should absolutely have legal. I'm going to start today with legal. Why is legal important? I'll tell you why. When Lowe's gives you that contract, Teresa, you can rest assured that their corporate attorneys drew it up and it does not have your best interest. It does not have your best interest. Now, they're not trying to harm you, but they hire attorneys who make a lot of money, Barbara, to only care about Lowe's. That means if you just take that MSA and you just sign it as is and you don't redline it and you don't know what questions to ask and you just give it back like some of my vendors, some of our members have done, you don't know that in the fine print, if you're selling products, it talks about Lowe's private labeling. Well, what does that mean, private label? And does private label mean when it goes on the Lowe's shelves, they put the Lowe's brand on it? Do they ever refer back to Yolanda Smith as the woman business? You don't know. You didn't ask, Hadassah, right? These are questions why the legal piece. So who is in your wallet? Like Capital One says, who's in your legal arsenal? We're going to talk about it, Danola. And then number 2, now that you have legal down pack, and we're going to talk about what that looks like for you. We're going to do a real exercise on the Zoom here. Contracting support. Okay, good. You're in the door, Sherry. You got in the door. Good for you. Now you got this huge contract. You're going after this $5 million body of work. You've never competed for a $5 million body of work, but someone has. So who do you have in your arsenal who's helped America's small businesses to win 50 million in contracts? We're going to talk about who that is. You want to know who they are. Because if I'm you, I'm calling that person because that person has a high success rate of having small businesses win. And they don't get paid unless we get paid. I'm doing that deal, right? If I really want it. Okay. What I'm not going to do is cut my teeth on a $5 million RFP, Dr. Sandy. I'm not going to try it for the first time by myself, right? The other thing is if in the contract or if in the people I'm targeting, Dr. Angel, it requires me to be a woman-owned business. Now, let's go here for a second. Let's talk about the elephant in the room that nobody's talking about. DEI has been rolled back. What that means to you all is that some of those certifications that they were hardball on last year, Danita, where these companies said you must be a woman-owned business, you must be a veteran-owned business, you must be LGBT, right, or Black or Italian or, right, an Asian-owned business. Now, companies have softened the tone. They haven't completely taken it away, but they're not so bullish on it because they fear legal reprimand. So even though, Dr. Angel, you will still see some of this WBE, MBE business in the fine print, they haven't completely taken it down, some of them. They're no longer telling me, Dawn Nicole, your members need to be. They're not saying that anymore. So they're softening the tone. However, if the people you want to work with, Danola, we always say this, require you to have the certification as of today, then you need to have the certification. So it is really dictated by who you are targeting and what those people are requiring, period. And it has nothing to do with me. It has to do with your target list. If that's what they say they need, that's what you have to get. Now, in our community, do we have people in place who can actually just do the certification for you as a service? Yes. We're going to talk about it today. Will it behoove you to know, hey, Roxanne, that's my beautiful photographer right there. Y'all, shout out to Roxanne. She had me looking real good on them pictures. Hey, hey. All right, Hawa Images. So if you have to be certified to get the business, then go get the certification. And if you don't have time to do it, know in your arsenal who can help you do it. We're going to talk about that today. All right. We're also going to talk about who can help you with short-term strategies. All right. Also, bookkeeping. I personally cannot tell you how bookkeeping personally has saved my life. I've been able to get venture capital partners because my bookkeeping was on point. When I went to refinance, I'm trying to buy a commercial building. You're going to need clean bookkeeping, you all, even if you're great at Excel. Let me just be very honest with you. Some of you just happen to be good with numbers. That's really, really great. But there's something highly professional about a third party who does this vouching for you, saying, yep, here's Dawn Nicole's cash flow statement for the company, and she can turn it around like this. Here's the P&L statement. How do you want it? To date, year to date, right? The books are clean. I cannot tell you how this gives me leveraging power with me getting capital raises. And the same for you. So for some of you, you're not there yet, and I'm not beating you up. I'm just saying aspire to bring in a bookkeeper. This person doesn't even have to be a CPA just yet. CPAs are great and they're different from bookkeepers. Let me just say, one focuses on strategy and taxes and helping you do different things, but the bookkeeper is focused on keeping your books clean and pristine and third-party verified. That is the next goal if you don't have it. Then you can move to a CPA, an accountant, and all those other things, okay? Capital lending partner. We talked about this a little bit. Branding and marketing. Who's in your community? Who's your HR person? Because let's be very real, ladies and gentlemen. If your goal is to get a contract, then inherently, whether you say it or not, your goal is to at some point hire. Whether you hire team members or you hire vendors, right? Procure vendors. You can't get these contracts. So I just want to be really clear because a lot of us will say, well, it's just me and the company. And I'm going after this big contract. Let me tell you, you are a big risk when you show up as a one woman or one man shop, the bigger the contract. I'm just being very honest with you. Very honest with you. Because something happens to you, you get sick. Now what happens to the delivery, right? My deliverables. You're sick. You're down. We're just humans. We're only human. So the more you can show, I have a network of companies. I have a professional network of vendors, my team. And when you talk about your team, they don't need to know under the hood that these people aren't W-2 or 1099. They don't need to know how they're your team. You just need to use words like our team, us. Normalize us, not me and I's. Because some of us will say, I always say, we are really excited to do business with you. Our team, even before I had a team, I was speaking it into existence. You become immediately more attractive when you have a team. If you're going to be hiring for the first time, you're going to need some HR insight at some point. Even if you recruit the first person on LinkedIn or Indeed by yourself, when you bring them on, you're still going to need some key components. And that's what DMW Consultants, Danita Williams, has helped us with, okay? We also have Danola Burton, right, who can give you some different things as well. So I just want to point that out, that we have resources in the platform to help you. We have tech and cyber. You're going to need tech and cyber support. Okay. So now that I've beat that to death, let's go on. So here's what we're going to do now. This is the fun part. And then I'm going to get off mute and ask you all to talk back to me. So, did you know that just by being a member of ProcuraFind, we already have done some homework for you? We have resource partners. So, before I show you who they are and how you should be using them strategically to get more contracts, that part, let's talk about what is a resource partner, because many of you may not even know this language. So, inside of ProcuraFind, there are 3 levels, there are 3 types of roles that someone can be. Role number 1 is being a member. I'm a small business interested in getting connected to community, developed and connected to contracts faster. So that's many of you on the call. You are a member, which is great. But then you have to be a member first, and then you can be considered as a resource partner. To be considered as a resource partner, of course, there is an onboarding opportunity. It's a whole thing. It's a whole process where you have to be vetted by me. You talk to me. We talk about what that looks like. But a resource partner is a person who, beyond just being a member, they have a universal product and a need to serve and support our nationwide base. So if you haven't had that conversation with me and you believe that there's something in these 8 verticals, right, that you can provide, you should be talking to me. And let's see if it's a good fit. Okay. So I just want to point that out there. And of course, most of our resource partners have something that is a critical need to our member base that you're going to offer. Okay. So that's a resource partner. These people have been vetted and they've been taken through a rigorous process and they signed a contract, right? So it's not just a casual thing. Like they have an agreement for a year. It looks like something. Okay. Lastly, we have corporate partners.
What are you supposed to be in?
Corporate partners are the people who have contracts for you. They are actually looking to do business. So those are the 3 roles, y'all. Member, resource partner, corporate partner. Does anyone have any questions around those 3 roles before we jump into who are these people? Okay. And then
I do, Dr. Don.
Yes, please, Dee.
Let me get myself on camera.
Yeah, no worries. Hi.
Hi, there we go. So I can see you and see. There you go. But first of all, thank you so much for this training. I didn't know that there were different levels. So I'm new here.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to learn all of the things. So how long do you need to be a member before you have a conversation with you future about resource
Yeah.
partnership?
I love that question, Dee. So I'll start by answering the first question. I'm sure there's probably a part 2 or 3 to where you're going. The first thing is, if you come in the door, soon as you come in as a member, and me or my team identify that you're a hot commodity, like what you're offering falls into what's on the screen, because that's what we do too, D. We try really hard not to make up a category. Like we figure, where do you align? So either we will identify and have the conversation with you, or oftentimes we get members who come in right away who say, hey, I've got something, can we talk? And then we determine if there's a fit. That's process 1. There's a whole onboarding thing of being vetted, and we go in, it probably takes about 60 days from the time of identification to working through the pipeline with all the requirements. But yeah, that's it. There's not a time frame associated with how long. We just do validate and verify that you can do what you say you do. We check some past performances. And sometimes, like in Danita's case, if I may, who's on this call, she was a member for a whole year. And we got to see the quality of her work. And then we started to have resource partners. And now she's a nationwide HR resource partner. But Dee, did you have any more questions, or did that answer it for you?
Nope, that answers it for now. Thanks.
Awesome. You're welcome. All right. Any more questions? And then we're going to jump in. Who is in this network to help you win? So any more questions before we jump into this? Awesome. All right, let's get into it. So ladies, I'm going to start with the L. I'm going to start with legal. And with me, I don't just like words on the page. I like to give you real practical ways you could take this information and strategize. So the first thing I want you to know is, before I can talk about legal, I need to let you know what we're up to. When I tell you all that we are trying to be the go-to company for the world's best suppliers, for the world's leading suppliers in the future, We're trying to own the share of the market. That means we have to show up differently in 2026 and beyond. So one of the things we're doing is we created ProcuraFind's exclusive network of trusted counsel. Essentially, what we're building is an internal legal Zoom. Let me be clear. And where this came from is we actually went to LegalZoom first. I was trying to do a brand deal with LegalZoom, and then my legal members in here who are winning attorneys was like, hey, that's a slight to us. Why don't we just build a ProcuraFind version of LegalZoom across the United States and understand who does what legally in what states and how they could cover? Well, of course I'll take that deal. So today we began the beginnings of PentC, ProcuraFind's exclusive network of trusted counsel, so that anything you all need, should you find yourself in a dispute, somebody's trying to sue you, let's call this person. Here you go. Right? Oh, somebody played with your money? Oh no, let's call, right? We are trying to protect you all. We are bullish about our members. So in the new PentC network, we have Peel Law Group. Peel Law Group, Amy Peel Leak does IP. She's going to protect your intellectual property. She does trademarking. She did all of our trademarks. So just so you know, because I want y'all to know, I'm not selling you people I haven't worked with. I work with them first. I need to see how they perform with ProcuraFind before I turn them over to you. So I've paid Peel Law Group a handsomely to do a lot of different trademarking and legal protections for us. But let's say that somebody sends you a contract. You got that first big contract, Yolanda, and it's extensive and it is bullish and it is intimidating. You can simply reach out to Kayla Hill at the Turning Point Law. She does contract compliance and review. And she's so good, Suzette. Not only is she going to review that external contract that came from a major corporate client, but she's also going to review, if that's what you want, your internal suite of contracts that you send out to people. What are you missing? Right? So she does two-way review, you all's internal and external. Internal is your suite of contracts before you just start sending stuff out. And then external is how she reviews your external. And she's going to be in your best interest because they have corporate attorneys in their best interest. Right now, there is still more opportunity for us to bring in other corporate partners. So I just want you to know, or excuse me, resource partners in the legal space. So if any of you are attorneys on here, or you know someone who is an attorney, get them to me ASAP so we can figure out if they fit in the PentC network we're building. Any questions on the legal before we go to who's in the contract support? Did y'all know, who already knew that we had Peel Law Group and the Turning Point Law? I just want to know who knew that. Who didn't know? If you didn't know, just come off mute and say, I didn't know. Barbara, question.
Didn't know.
Didn't know. Okay. Barbara, did you have a question or was that?
No, I'm sorry. I was just raising my hand saying I knew about Peel Law Group.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. See, Barbara is so compliant. Barbara put her Zoom hand up. Thank you, Barbara. Awesome. All right. So now we're going to talk about contracting support. So let's get into this. What is contracting support and how does this help you win? Because I'm telling you right now, the moment you start to arm your arsenal like this, you become immediately more powerful. You become confident because you were never meant to do this alone. Suzette, this is not a game we play alone. When it comes to becoming a multi-million-dollar contract, Roxanne, it takes a community. It takes a community of powerful believers and peers and partners. So contracting support. Number one, you just got the contract in your hand or the RFP. Danola, you're going after a $5 million RFP, but you've never done this before. I know, right? Speaking it to existence, but you've never done this before. What are we going to do? We are going to reach out to Audrey and Advising because they do proposal development like no one else. And when I say proposal development, they're going to help you review it. They're going to help you know what to say. Their formula works. $50 million in contracts and counting. It works. Hey, Charles, welcome. Good morning. So it works. It works. And if I were you, I don't like to take chances. The bigger the fish, the higher the stakes. Dr. Dawn Nicole doesn't take chances on things she really, really wants, right? And if we could split the winning somehow, I'm gonna go after it, right? So Audrey and Advising is already in our member. She's an on-contract resource partner and they have a high success rate. Reach out to them. They're gonna help you with your compliance. They're even gonna give you some consult, Karima, because one thing that We learned, by the way, Audrey and Advising just did last month's masterclass. So those of you who are VIP members, you probably got a chance to be on that masterclass, and it was amazing. She taught you that you could be knocked out of the RFP process if you get your font wrong. Something as simple as the font you didn't read, right? You didn't read that it said it needs to be Times New Roman and you did Arial. Something as simple as that, you all right? So the other person we have in this space is we have Christine Edwards. Did you know that Christine Edwards will help you and service you in getting your WeBank? She will do it for you. She will get the MBE certification for you. Oh, you want your federal government certification? You don't have the time? Because sometimes it's not that you couldn't do it. It just takes time. Christine Edwards is who we send people to help them with certification support. And yes, there's a fee, of course, because it's a service, right? But it's a very reasonable fee. And truthfully, I hope she doesn't get mad at me. I've tried to tell her she needs to raise her fee, but she keeps it really affordable for you all. So it's probably the most cost-effective person that we use in this space, just so you know. Okay. But guess what? You are trying to win a contract. You are really trying to strategize. You're getting ready to go to an event that's a big deal. If you're going to invest thousands of dollars or a few $100s in a major event, have a strategy. Don't just show up. The event is not for you to look cute and have on a nice dress. You all have a strategy, and we can help you with that with our certified supplier consultants. So our certified supplier consultants are going to help you with your short-term strategy, your 90-day plan. They're going to brainstorm and be a critical thinker with you. A lot of people just don't know how to use our CSCs. These are certified supplier consultants. I just want to see by a show of hands if you've already worked with one of our certified supplier consultants. Can you just either come off mute or show your hands? Okay. Hey, Michelle Beatty, I see you. And I also see hands raised. Hands raised, and Hadassah and Danita. I just need one person, and I know y'all didn't know I'm gonna put you on the spot. Were they thorough? When you were finished, who got a thorough report? Somebody come off mute and just tell me about working with our certified supplier consultants.
I'll come off mute. I got a thorough report. I got a blueprint of the steps I needed to take to make sure that I have my ecosystem in place. I know how to go after, register on company portals, the strategy to follow them, how to beef up capability statements. So it was just a blueprint, like a business blueprint from A to Z.
Good. I love that. And listen, we continue to sharpen our CSCs with trending topics. And so if you're a CSC, can you just come off mute and say hi so we can just show you some love? CSCs, just say hi to us real fast.
Hey.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, CSCs. We appreciate you.
Johnny, I see Dr. Sandy. Who else is on here that are CSCs? Is that it?
I think that's all that's on here today. But I would say I feel like the best use of the CSCs, you all, is a short-term strategy. That's just my opinion. Like if I were trying to do something tactical, right, where I'm going after something that's in the near term and I need a thought partner, I need someone to think with me who's connected, who understands both the supplier path and our platform and how to go after business, that's when I would absolutely use a CSC. But shift of gears. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about this. How many people on this call have pre-TSA? Anybody have pre-TSA? You go to the airport, you have to pre-check. Oh, look at you, bougie people. I just love my bougie people. My bougie people, we're busy, right, Barbara? We need pre-check. We don't have time to stand in line, right? Okay, so the reason I made you all do this, and y'all know I'm messing with you, it's all love, is that the Blue Check Verified service by Sarita Kent is a service that is about being pre-checked. The Blue Check Verified will prove that you are a top performer in your field. It is one of the most affordable programs, I think, for $139. They do a 4-point check. They verify your past performance with clients, right? They make sure you have no Better Business Bureau results. Basically, when you get blue checked, you get a certificate and you get a blue check in our community, y'all. You get a check mark that says this business is ready to run right now. Let me tell you something about blue check. When my corporate partners like PNC come in and those other big names come in, I'm looking at my blue check people first because they've already been pre-vetted on paper and they are top performers based on the blue check. So I don't know if Sarita Kent can just say hi. Sarita, are you on this call with the Docs agency? She may be Hey, Sarita, can you just talk about the power of
Hello.
blue check real fast?
Yeah, so the blue check verification, it covers, so much more than just making sure that your business is in existence. We do a thorough check on how your business does business. And what we do with this blue check verification is just give you that certification that, yep, all things are in working order. We're looking at things that you may not be looking at daily, like you're done in Bradstreet. We even go as deep as to look at what reviews you've had online. So it's a really, really thorough check of your business verification, your business's reputation, and just putting your best foot forward as a business. We do that for you.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarita. And I was so grateful to use a member as a partner here and not use like LexisNexis, but the Docs agency is holding us down and we've gotten our blue check. So just so you know, I don't send y'all to do anything that we don't do. We actually paid for the blue check verified. It's only $139 for the year. But let me tell you the so what, because this is something I want to say that we don't say enough. As business owners, we don't always complete the thought. And what I mean by that is we always think it's not the blue check verified that's the winner here. It's what you do after. How do you take the thing that you just invested in and make it matter to corporate partners? This is the part that we don't do so well. All of us, whether it's a certification. So let me like put you up on how we use this. When we got our blue check verified, we added to our capability statement that ProcuraFind is a blue check verified company. Our performance past, track record has been verified by a third party. Right? This is the so what. There's a book that's called What's the So What? And I'm just going to go on a rant for a second because we as small businesses don't do the so what part. We will say, we've been in business 20 years. So what is the rest of this? What does that mean? We never configure the meaning of the thing. We just think the thing is the winner, and that's not the winner. It's not the event that's the winner. It's not the thing you did. It's as a result of the thing you did. Who does that matter to? What is the so what of everything you're doing? So when we say these things to you that you've gotten blue check verified or you got the WeBank certification, how are you using that as a tool of leverage to win? That's the part that we've got to work out. Okay, so I'm not trying to rant with you all, but I'm trying to let you know, let's step our game up for 2025 and beyond, okay? All right, bookkeeper, who do we have? Right now we have ADP who does all payroll and back office systems. Did you all know we just struck a partnership with ADP? And while that is a big global giant, ADP already understands where our small businesses are in revenue. So they have a tier structure where they're not designed to charge you the same amount that they would charge a major corporate client. The other thing I should put out here is we are currently looking for members like you who are in the accounting and bookkeeping space who might want to be a resource partner. If this is you, see me. If y'all know accountants and bookkeepers who are not members yet, who would love to come in and be a member and be a resource partner that we could put their name here, incorporating it into our training, send them my way. So just so you know, we are always open because in order to grow, we need lots of partners, okay? Any questions here before we go to capital and lending?
I have a question.
Yes, hey Dee.
Hi, let me come back on screen.
Okay.
Excuse me. This is great. So I have a question. I think I was on something with you the other day and I asked about accounts receivable because that's my lane. So I don't know where that fits in this because like that's the lane I do. Mine is more B2B and B2G, business and government. So that's like that's my career. That's my career experience, which I'm now transferring into this business.
Right.
So
yeah.
I would down the line, not today, just down the line. I'm just because I'm here today, I'm trying to figure out, okay, where do you fit?
Yeah. I think you do fit under bookkeeping and accounting. I think it's worth a conversation with me because I know for a fact that there are. So here's the other thing that I didn't say, Dee, that I think is important. When you become a resource partner, I'm not just positioning you to work for our small businesses. I'm also positioning you to sell to corporations. So it's much easier, Dee, for if you're a resource partner. Now, when I go to a corporate partner, I can make a partner to partner relationship. That's a different conversation.
Okay.
Right. So I can say, oh, accounts receivable is a question for you. Like, I'll give you a real example where accounts receivable came up. And I hope you all are getting something from this and I'm not boring you because I'm trying to give you the full picture of how all these resources work together. We do one major event every single year. We do a national supplier summit. This year is going to be in April, right? I can tell you right now, Dee, and you moved on my computer somewhere. Okay, I can tell you right now that the event planning spaces, the event conferences, the conference centers, they struggle with accounts receivable. Like they struggle collecting money from event organizers, right? And they asked us recently, do you have anyone on your platform who does this? And we did make a recommendation to one person, but we only have one person, but we're national. So I would say, let's have a conversation, you and I. Okay. All right. All right, y'all, we're going to move on. So capital, let's just get into this. And this is my favorite thing to talk about. Let's talk about contract financing. Earlier, you heard me say that most of us can't afford, I'm saying us figuratively, because I can't afford to say yes to the contract, right? Why? Because I have partners. I'm not always using my own money, right? But contract financing. So the Watson Group has met with so many of our members in the construction space, in the healthcare supplies space, right? But here's the thing that you should know, and this is why I want you all to use these resources proactively. By the time you get a hot burning contract in your hand, it's time sensitive. Well, if you realize at that moment that you're going to need some help funding up to $500,000, and they can go all the way up to like 5 million, by the way, they can go high. So I'm just using this as an example. Let's say that you just got this SOW, this purchase order, a SOW, statement of work, and you're going to need $500,000 up front because you're not even getting paid until 90 days from now. But you still have to deliver the supplies. That's why you need capital. You still got to hire the team, capital. You still got to market it, capital, right? If you wait, it's going to at least take you at least 14 days, right, of time. By the time when you get the Watson Group on the phone, Gerald and Philip, you run through their application process, you send your financials, that's taking time. Then they have to go through a process as a broker to find who has your money, right? So they do contract financing. What would happen if y'all reached out to them now? You reached out to them today proactively to say, hey, I want to know today where my profile fits. Here's my credit score, which is private to you. They don't tell, I'm not interested in being in your business like that, but here's my credit score. Here's my application. Let's just test me out on $500,000. Could I get it today? That's a great conversation to have. Let me tell you why. Here's how they teach us to use them proactively. Because now when you know that you're pre-qualified for this and you've built a relationship with Gerald and Philip, the Watson Group, you're going to put on your business capability statement. This is my favorite part. I love it. We don't even think like this. You're going to put on your business capability statement that you are pre-qualified for contract financing up to $5 million. This is a big deal. See, some of us are thinking, why would I we're not trained to think like this. You become more attractive to the people you're looking to serve and support in the corporate space when they know you're already good for it. The collateral is there. The capital is cleared. In fact, they teach us to actually use the fact that you have contract financing options as a leverager to win the contract. I'm just going to let that mirror. I don't know if y'all are thinking like that, but this is how we should be thinking. This is next level stuff. Because guess what? The big boys have it. Those big companies, they have financiers, they have investors, they have capital partners, and they tout it. They say it. It's on their website. But we don't, because we think that there's value in being quiet and keeping everything right? We don't want anyone to know. So we've actually seen people win contracts by putting this on there. In fact, many corporations will sometimes work with contract financing folks so that their vendors can afford to say yes. How many of y'all already knew that? If you knew that, let me know that you knew that. If this is brand new information, say it's new. Somebody come off mute, give me some energy. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down today? Because it's Friday.
Picking it up. We're picking it up. It's very new.
Come on. Okay, y'all, because it's Friday and I'm over here alone with no coffee. I know you can't tell. You're like, you haven't had coffee as hype as you are. Okay.
Dawn, can you just repeat like what the phrase I missed the phrase you said about what you should include, that you're approved for?
Yes. Pre-approved. I would say I'm pre-qualified. We are pre-qualified supplier, vendor, whatever word you want to call yourself. We are pre-qualified supplier for contract financing up to 5 million or up to, or if you don't want to give if you don't want to say that, which would be fine, you could also say pre-approved contracting financing partners, or we have contracting financing partners in our portfolio. Great,
Okay.
right? So these are words we should be using and saying, you all, in our, sometimes it's on our capability statement. It could be on your website. It is in your conversation that you're having behind the scenes in the background via email. And if you think that there's any shame in this, think again. The major companies don't use their own money. It's about how you use other people's money. And these are some billion-dollar firms using other people's capital. We got to get like this. We have to think in this way. So next we have First Citizens Bank, you all. Let me tell you why First Citizens Bank, because many of you are going to say, oh, I'm good, Dawn Nicole. I have my own bank, blah, 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 right? Let me talk about why. And there are a lot of banks who come at me. Bank of America, I'm not going to say others because I don't want to, a lot of banks try to work with us. Here's why I will gladly put First Citizens Bank on the page. First Citizens Bank has proven to me to not just be an action-oriented, and Rev Ford is your man. I don't care where you live. I'm gonna tell you why on the screen, on your participant guide. I want you to reach out to Rev if you're trying to build a First Citizens Bank relationship. Here's why. They're in 17 states. Don't think just money and capital and banking products. Think growth. You want to franchise in another state? Oh, you want to do an event in Iowa? You don't know anyone there? Ask Rev Ford at First Citizens Bank, would he be willing to make an introduction to the Iowa branch? Rev has been critical in our growth. I wanted to get in Savannah. Rev got me someone at First Citizens Bank. Raleigh, Columbia, South Carolina, up north, wherever I want to go, he understands that this is about growth and scale. Think bigger. So your banking partner, if they're not willing to do this for you, right? Because a lot of us get real comfortable. Well, I'm loyal. I opened up my very first account and what have they done for you lately? What do you need that maybe they're not giving? And listen, I don't just want to hear from them once a year. I want somebody to check in with me to say, Dawn Nicole, it's 90 days later. How are you growing and scaling? What's new? Right? What new products? See, let me invite you in. So it is really a fluid relationship. And I want us to change how we think about that banking. Have they invited you to a personal screening? Have you made it known that if there are any galas or fundraising events, you want to be invited? Have you reached out and said that? You should. You can. Have you gotten box office tickets somewhere? You can. Is there another type of business or commercial lender you want to be introduced to? You should be asking. These are all, so what have they done for you lately? And if you're not getting what you need, building an alliance with someone who's not feeding you, it's not healthy, right? Don't just let loyalty fool you. What are they giving to you? What have they offered you lately? What new programs are out? Are they checking on you? Because a business in your maturity level continues to mean that you need new things as you scale. That part, okay? Then there's Self-Help Credit Union. Again, reach out to Tanya Dial Bethune. They have people in Milwaukee. They have people in Chicago. Again, think growth. You want to go bigger? Reach out and start making those banks work for you. That's all right. I'm off my rant. All right. Branding and marketing. Who do y'all know in branding and marketing? We need a resource partner in branding and marketing. Somebody please come through. Does anybody know anyone in branding and marketing, whether they are in this platform or not? Yes?
Yolanda Smith.
Yolanda Smith. Where is Yolanda Smith? Yolanda, we need a resource partner here. What's going on?
Just told you I need to step up my game. I don't know if you saw it in the chat. I was like, let me step up my game. Okay, this is ridiculous. And I can, yes. So we will definitely have the conversation about that and some other things. I'll schedule some time for sure.
Please do. Let me tell you how important this is, y'all. I'm going to give you a real example because I know some things are just talking heads, but I really want to nail this down to what it means for contracting. True story. And I'm going to try not to give too much information because out of respect for the member. I have a member who is in a big box brand, right? It is a global international brand. And so how they are showing up in merchandising with their merchandise matters. They recently did a poster, trying to be thoughtful, where they were trying to tell their story. And their story was, hey, I was in the hospital, I took this drink and this natural herb, and now I'm this. But they actually showed these pictures of them trying to show the before and after, and it was a branding fiasco in corporate, because guess what, the corporate culture doesn't want to see that. Corporations are very judgy. They are. Focus on the product. So we don't have a branding expert that I could take this use case to say, oh girl, oh, let me help you, right? Here's a person who understands merchandising. Here's what your display should look like in a commercial storefront. We don't have that. So right now, what I have to do is rely on my community of practice. And I was going to reach out to the product and retail and hospitality, food and beverage folks. Some of them are getting it right for some mentorship. But if I had a branding and marketing person, I could have then recruited or referred, excuse me, this particular use case over to the branding and marketing person to figure out, what is my merchandising set? What is my commercial storefront in real life? What does that need to look like? What are the things? That's not my sweet spot. I mean, I know enough to make money, but I don't want to do all the things. That's why we have a platform. So this is where we need branding and marketing expertise for packaging. And Roxanne knows all too well the importance of beautiful pictures and image. I know Roxanne is probably like, the wheels are turning, because she has some of the most beautiful photography, and she works with people wherever you are, right? And Yolanda, you too. So this is why forming this type of resource partnership is critical, especially for us.
Okay, we're gonna make it happen. Me and Roxanne are gonna make it happen.
Okay, come on, Roxanne. Okay. Are you in? Come on, Roxanne. Awesome.
Nicole,
yes.
Dawn Nicole.
Yeah.
Dee wants to know, how do I schedule a call with Dr. Dawn Nicole?
Yes, you could just reach out to Dr. Sandy Hardy on this call. So, just reach out directly to Dr. Sandy. Can you just put your email in the chat so that people can just go through you to just schedule some time with me, if that's okay? Yeah, and it's going to be like a 15-minute, but we're going to have an initial conversation to see if it's a good fit, and then we'll go through some things. Okay. Awesome.
And I highly recommend that you book that consultation with Dr. Dawn Nicole. When I tell you that's game-changing strategy and information specific to your business, it's unbelievable. If you haven't done it, at least do it once. At least do it once. You're brilliant. I'm just telling you, your lane of genius is out of this world and unmatched. So we really need to take advantage of what you have to offer. I got to do better. I'm here professing I'm going to do better.
I appreciate you for saying thank you. So, and listen, I always forget to talk about the one-on-one consultations with me. That's like the highest tier in the platform you can go. But when I tell you, I'm not going to pull my own, but Tasha Dash, Yolanda, the people on this call know, Danita people know it's next level. So we'll keep going. Community, this part is important. I hope the people who just hung up did not miss this part, because y'all, her headquarters, let me talk about this new partnership. So what is community? Community is your access to hundreds, potentially thousands of other people who do what you do. This part is probably arguably so important. We just did a nationwide deal with her headquarters. And if you don't know, let me put you on what this means for you. And it is in your manual that we sent. It's clickable. All you got to do is click. Her headquarters is the Upwork of the United States. So we just partnered in a way where every single new membership from October 1 and on will automatically include access to our sister site, Her Headquarters, where you can go immediately to start bidding on work. And so the way I describe this is, think of ProcuraFind as your supplier development amplifier. What we bring to the table is world-class training. We hand deliver our corporate access to you. What Her Headquarters is getting right is they have a professionally well-done platform that allows you to bid on opportunities right now. So think of them as your short-term, I need to make money now. Think of us as the long game, because the corporate game is just not a short scale usually, right? It's going to take weeks and a few months. So you can take advantage of both. This is what this Her Headquarters gives you access to. So if y'all don't know about it, if you need the recording, let me know. Put in the chat, I need the Her Headquarters recording. Where was I? I missed that call, right? Okay, so Edie, I see. So Edie's like, my hand is up, right? So I
had it on my schedule and I totally forgot, and I was so mad. I was so upset with myself. I was like,
Yeah,
So
and it was
yes.
good. It was really good. We were
Okay.
able to lay out 2 women companies coming together to formulate this strategic partnership. So, are there questions in the chat, Dr. Sandy or Danola, that I should be aware of? I just want to pause here to make sure I'm taking care of you all and I'm not over talking. Is there any
Not
questions?
right now.
Okay,
Nope,
good.
everything's good.
Good, good, good. All right, let's keep going. HR, remember we told you it is time to hire, because if you're in this thing for real, then you have hiring as a part of your game plan at some point. DMW Consultants is everything HR people and processes. Not only has Danita been a pivotal piece in how we've hired 5 team members between January and now, and some of those team members didn't cost me any money. I'm gonna say it again. Some of those team members are being paid through a grant. If you need that YouTube video, I recorded a video. So if you want that, put in the chat, I need the video on the grant membership to hire team members. Also, Danita has been a pivotal part. She's been there through the whole time to see how the grant works. And so she's also connected with the people. So Danita, thank you for being a tried and true HR partner. You helped us with our onboarding this year. You just gave emotional intelligence training yesterday. And Danita also helped me to think through some things I had no idea. Just because I'm good at recruiting does not mean I know what I'm doing as an employer. So thank God for Danita, right? And the other HR people that we have in this member base. And I want to just say, it takes a community. It takes a community, right? I know Danola does aspects of HR too. And Danola, we're very, very grateful for you. So I just want to point that out, that if you have questions, Danita actually has a free download to get started. So all you have to do is click the link. Danita, feel free to put it in the chat. We also just brought on ADP. I just want to explain how big this is as well. How many of y'all know that ADP is a global partner? ADP is global, right? So we're talking Germany, we're talking UK. How many people, I'm curious, come off mute if you ever want to work in like the UK or internationally. How many people want to do business internationally? Just come off mute and say me. I just need some energy. Just say me.
Me.
Okay. Okay. Then you know, if you want to work internationally, you have to surround yourself with partners and people who are already doing what you aim to do, right? So here's the deal. When ADP came in, and by the way, ADP's focus and how they're different from DMW consultants, think of Danita as HR people and process. So think people and processes, where ADP is HR back office and systems, okay? They are your office, your systems, your instrument, your merchandise, all the stuff in the back, okay? So how people get paid and all that good stuff. But here's the deal. When ADP became a partner, I pressed them to find out, how can our members actually do business with ADP? Oh, y'all didn't think I would? Oh, I never do a one-way partnership. Oh no. When people come in as a partner, I want it all. I want to know, wait, do you hire do you work with small businesses and vendor contract them? Then let's introduce me to that person. Oh, you also provide services? Great. And what else? I want the whole 360. That's what I go for, okay? And so in doing that, ladies and gentlemen, ADP has given me the links on how we can all be on the ADP marketplace. Yes, I just need to dissect it. So I just haven't had time to dissect it, but that's coming out. So I just want you to know that we have new partners. Finally, tech and cybersecurity partners. As you can see, we need more tech resource partners. So if you are in the technical industry on here, right, and you support in any way, whether it's cybersecurity or you offer something in tech that you think will be broadly useful to this member base, because don't get caught up on what you see today. We are looking to become the Goliath of what we do. Can you help support that? So if the answer is yes, Barbara, were you leaning in here? Because you're a tech business. Were you?
Sure. Yes, absolutely.
Barbara's,
Happy to help.
yeah, Barbara is awesome, you all. I know her from way predating ProcuraFind. We did some work together, or we worked on the same account with Boston Consulting Group. She's a force to be reckoned with. Get to know Barbara. They're out of Connecticut. They're the real deal, okay? But as far as our technology partner today, we have Skilldora, who helps with process automation, and they can build your digital courses fast. So they do commercial deals, and they helped a number of our small businesses like Mika Walker to digitize her accounts receivable business. So if that's something you're interested in, see this. All right, so any questions on the resources, and then we're going to have you tell us what resources you're using today. Any questions on the resources ProcuraFind is bringing to the table? Awesome. So yeah,
So
questions?
there is one question in the chat.
Okay, I'll take
It
it.
says, how do we reach out to these partners?
Yes. So, two ways. We made it super easy for you by literally just clicking the links on this page. So, these, if I were to click right now, Audrey and advising, it would go to her actual landing page. So, these are already configured, but we also will tell you go to the business directory. And here's a secret. If you actually search on the letter P, they are all listed in here as partners. So just a cheat sheet in our business directory. If you go to P, you should be able to find partners. Now, some of them are still being onboarded because they're very, very new, but for the most part, that's how you would find partners in our directory. Okay. Does that answer that question, everyone? Awesome. Okay, so now,
I had a question about the blue check.
yes, Suzette.
So if you're a fairly new business, you don't have a long list of individuals that you work with, right? Most new businesses don't. Is it beneficial or is it still possible to get the blue check for your business?
It may, and that's a good question because Blue Check verifies across 4 categories. And look at Sarita. She's ready, boy. Sarita's like, I got to answer, Dawn Nicole. All right, so I'll be real quick and I'm going to pass it to Sarita. So, Blue Check will evaluate you across 4 categories and it's a ranking system. So, if they can verify 1 or 2, so you might not get 100 score, but as long as you score over a certain amount, you can still be Blue Check verified and your report will say that we've been able to verify 1 or 2. But I will also talk to you one-on-one about how to bring up that strategy on how to count some of the work you've done in corporate, right? If we can verify that you are in the same space. So there are ways, there are compensating factors. But Sarita, did you want to touch on that since this is our co-program?
No, you hit it right on the head. And then in addition to that, one of the things that the Blue Check Verified report that you will get, it includes areas where you can improve and how to improve it. So, and then there's a way for you once you meet that criteria to go back and get recertified to help.
Awesome.
Excellent. Thank you. That I was going to ask that same question. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, good. And listen, our corporations are saying, "Oh my gosh, this is so innovative. We need it because it saves us from having to do this check. A third-party company, the docs agency, did it. It's good for 1 year, so it's definitely like your pre-check at TSA." So, okay, so now here's a fun exercise for us, everybody. I want you to look at this screen and look at what you have on your page there. What does this look like today for you? Who's in your 8 circles? Okay. So I want everybody to look at their 8 circles on their supplier ecosystem map, which is what it's called, a supplier ecosystem map. And think about, who are you currently using illegal? And is it working? And of course, we're not going to bash anyone. So this, obviously, I'm not asking you to, like, if you're not happy, don't tell us it's Russ Stevenson and I hate it. You know, obviously we're not looking for that. But if you're happy with them, do share. So I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to just think about who's currently in your arsenal. Who are you using? And you have a blank sheet that looks like this. So you can write it in real time if you've printed it. Like I know Teresa Cruz printed hers. And look at Karima. Karima, I see you. Y'all are such the teachers. Where's my apple? Look, but you can print it or you can just write it down on a piece of paper. But I'm going to give everybody just a few minutes to think through this. And I would love for y'all to just come off mute and share. So I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to just think critically, who is currently in my circle? So this is you evaluating your current ecosystem as it stands today. Okay, so I'll give you everybody a few minutes and then I want us to engage and hear. All right. Okay, we're going to give about 30 more seconds. Okay, who wants to come off mute and share? We would like for at least 2 people to share aloud. Who can come off mute
Come on,
first?
mute.
Okay, great. I saw Danita, I saw Teresa Cherry Cruz. All right, so and we'll do a total of 3. So Danita, we'll start with you.
I'm using Amy Peel Leaks to shore up my legal services.
Oh, good. Okay. And what about, is there any other category that you're using that you want to share as well? One more category.
Uh, we've had a conversation, but we need to connect officially, and that's what Sarita Kent for the Docs Agency Blue Verification Check.
Oh, good. Excellent. Okay, okay. And so first of all, thank you so much for using ProcuraFind, which is yours, right? It's ProcuraFind, but this is a part of you. You can use ours or your own. So thank you, Danita. Anyone else? And remember, you can share your own or you can share someone from our resource group too. So Teresa, I saw your hand next, so feel free to come off mute and share.
So I'm using the Peel Law Group, and they have been amazing. So that's my first building block in my ecosystem, but they've been great.
Good, good, good. And who else? And so first of all, thank you for sharing. And is there anyone else in any of these 8 circles that you're using that's maybe not in our network, but you're happy with that you just kind of want to share as a tip, a banking partner, a CDFI? Mm-hmm.
Well, I got a reference from your husband, who is now my accountant, is Mr. Mays.
Yes.
And he has been great in just shaping and guiding me and teaching me everything I need to do in terms of that accounting. So.
Oh, and listen, my husband's gonna be so happy that someone said his name on this call. What you wait till I go tell him that he can't. He's gonna be like, "Oh, me!" So awesome. Thank you, thank you, Suzette. Please share who's in your arsenal, your ecosystem today.
I'm using Garrett PLLC for my business attorney, and I'm going to be honest, I'm a brand new business, and I did business with a Fortune 500 company that was refusing to pay. And Sean actually helped me collect my money and reserve that contract. We actually got into another negotiation with them because they started paying for a while and quit paying again. And he just went in and just collected all the money from the contract. So I'm probably locked in with him probably forever.
I love that. So, Suzette, that is the person we would love to know, because to me, that sounds like negotiations. And I want to be really clear that for Kayla, sorry, with the turning point, her goal is not disputes and negotiations. What she's doing is proactively reviewing and giving you counsel. However, we need a shark person who doesn't mind disputing on our behalf. So, or helping us collect things. So we would love to be introduced to them. So, okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah. Barbara, please do share.
Just to hit one of the other circles, like on the community network, since I got my WeBank certification, I feel like the WeBank network, especially through my RPO, has been particularly strong. So again, to kind of amplify the network with ProcuraFind, like my WeBank kind of associates, there's a lot of folks that kind of can help fill some of these gaps as well. So the going to the WeBank National Convention kind of like really like amplified having a lot of great connections from the WeBank community.
I love that. I echo that, Barbara. So as you know, we're WeBank certified. We promote you being a part of multiple communities. We've gone to many of their nationals, and you're absolutely right. It is fantastic. If you have not been, have your list of, right? I don't recommend going to everything because that's not a strategy, but figuring out who the strong contenders are for sure. And I can echo that. WeBank does have, if you get in the right region, they have really top. RPO is regional performance or regional something office. But yeah. And I was going to say, if you have any people, Barbara, in any of these circles, even if they're WeBank certified, that you think would be strong resource partners, definitely introduce them to us. So, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely found one in the legal category, West Hill, that's local to me. Like they're right in Boston. So they've been great.
Please refer. Yes. And that's the beauty, is that with us creating this PINC, this nationwide network, we're actually looking to bring in other legal partners for this purpose. So for sure, please connect them. So yeah, thank you for sharing. Danita, you're going to share.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to your husband also. I took a part in his investor readiness program and guided me through pitches, and I was able to actually meet with one of his angel investor partners last week. So
Yeah. Good, good. I can't wait to hear more. So we'll definitely talk offline about how that went. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Does anyone else want to share before we conclude and go to our next page? Anyone else want to share resources? Maybe someone we didn't talk about yet, someone you're using in your personal network that you vouch for. Anyone else? Awesome.
Don, I have a question. In branding and marketing, would that be somebody who does like all of your stationery printing and all of that as well? Would they be
That could
included?
be. That could be. And I'm glad you asked that because we should clarify. In each of these categories, it's the multi-layers, right? We know that not one person will do it all. So the more we can sort of make that category robust, whether it's, hey, I do the materials piece, the events promo items, right? Or I do the strategy piece, or I do the boosting of campaigns, right? Or I create commercials. And so the more folks you know in that category, the better, the more robust. So,
Okay, and one more question.
yeah.
What level do they need to be at? Do they need to be at the VIP level in order to be a partner when they come in?
Usually, yes. Usually for our
Okay.
resource partners, we want you, and then there's a reason for that because we know at the VIP level, we're giving the most exposure and access as it is. So we know that they will be usually champions of saying, okay, at the VIP level, this is the best. So now I'm going to, provide the best service because we're already getting the best exposure. So, okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Kara, are you coming off mute to talk to us? I see that finger.
I just want to show my face. I've been in the car, but listening as I was driving, and I just finally got to a safe spot. But I did have a question about. I don't see corporate training on your sort of circle here, and so I just wondered if that was something that you would also be looking for as a resource for corporate trainers, specifically in the training salespeople for public speaking, for presenting. That's what I do.
Yeah. So what I would say is, and that's a good point. So think of our resource partners as kind of partners who are locked and loaded at helping the small businesses win contracts. This is, with us being a contract readiness platform, it is really about how do these key services help to amplify and accelerate our ability to win and scale as a contract. However, if what you offer is helping people to pitch, and I know you do, you're really, really good at that, right? Pitching and coaching, that can fall under contract support. So you could potentially be a resource partner. It would be a conversation, but I would have to aim it to say, this particular piece of service is about helping your comfort level to pitch and actually get yourself in the door to pitch like a pro, so that could be something under here. Now, all of the services you don't see, you all fall under community. So when we talk about everything else, because there's sales, there's all kind of stuff that's not on here, but it's still important. And we just tuck it underneath the community at that point. Does that help, Kara, to kind of answer that question?
Yes. That makes perfect sense. And yes, it is geared toward like how to be successful with the specific presentation that you have coming up. So I think that could actually be a really helpful conversation. Let's get something on the books to just have a chat about it.
Yeah, that sounds good, Kara. Thank you so much. I would love that. Awesome. All right, you all. So in the interest of time, we are now moving on. Before we do, has anyone found today's segment helpful? Has it been helpful to rethink how you're looking at resources? I just want to make sure, because I think oftentimes we just build alliances because we're just loyal and we're just like, oh, this is my bank, right? And then I ask people, what have they done for you lately? Have you been invited to a gala? Have you been invited to an event? Are you a part of their community advisory board? Like, there are things you should get out of this relationship, right? And so thinking strategically helps you to get in more doors, helps you to get in more rooms. And I hope that I'm helping you to not just be static, that means stationary, right? But how do you take this arsenal and make it work for you, both in how you position it on your capability statement, what you get out of it, and so much more. So Barbara, you had your hand up?
Oh, that was from four. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Awesome. All right, you all. So now as we get ready to come to a close, here's what I'm going to ask you. In module 1 of CARES, we taught everybody who was there, they did a self-assessment. So if you didn't get this, let us know. We have a whole video on YouTube. So while I don't have time to go back today, you can get access to this. Module 1 was all about your contract awareness, right? How competitive this is and are you ready? And module 1 had you look at, are you documenting your capabilities on a business capability statement? And this is the part nobody tells you. Don't just build a business capability statement one time and set it and forget it. That thing should be updated every 90 days. You know why? You're learning new things. You got new certifications. You have new trades and skills to add. And guess what? You probably have had a corporate client or a small business client that needs to be added. So the hygienic part is making sure those capabilities are being updated on a capability statement. Number 2 of this assessment is, do you have the capital, or if you don't have it today, do you have the resources in place on how to go get it? Number 3, and this is what Karen just talked about, are you effectively communicating the problem you solve? But more importantly, when you're not in the room to communicate it. Ooh, what are you saying, Dawn Nicole? What I'm saying is, if you're only effective in person, but the things that you have visibly for people to see, like your brochures, aren't selling it, if your website's not selling it, if your LinkedIn page isn't selling it, that means you're not effectively communicating what you do when people aren't in the room to explain. Have you tested this out? Again, this is one of the things we had you look at in module 1. Well, Dawn Nicole, how can I test this out? Easy. Let me tell y'all how to test this out in 30 seconds. The next time you meet a person who's been following you on LinkedIn, I don't mean a stalker. I mean like on LinkedIn, right? On YouTube or something, right? To know, you got to specify. Instead of you telling them what you do, ask them, what do you think I do? No, I don't. What are you saying? Well, I'm confused, right? So that's the fastest way to find out how effective are you when you're not in the room. Do other people get it? Test it out. Capacity. This one is so, so key. Think about what you do today, everyone, and think about what is your highest capacity to perform that. I'll explain. If you're a speaker and it requires you to be on a stage to speak, healthily, how many speaking events could you handle and manage in a month? Realistically, could you handle 100? No, you can't. There's not even 100 days. So actually maximize and cap your capacity. Know what that is. And then if you want more, ask yourself, what would it take though for me to 10x me? Do I need speaking teams? Do I need a speaking network, for example? Right? If you sell Worcestershire sauce like Dr. Monique May, how many bottles are you at max capacity? Can you tap out, right? We need to know. These are the questions we should be asking. So that's what I mean about capacity, your preparedness. What is the largest thing you could handle by yourself before you have to bring in more people? We should know that. Certifications. This category measures what certifications do you have versus what certifications do you need. And I don't just mean diversity certifications, y'all. Those are rolling back, right? So we're going to think bigger. Do I actually need a green certification to compete with this company? Do I need to show that I have ESG goals, environmental social governance goals to compete? Do I need to show that I have a policy around privacy? And do I need to be certified in something? So when's the last time you checked what is actually required in your industry? Competitiveness. When's the last time you checked your price against your competitors? Do you know how? Right? Do you even know how to do that? What some people do is they call their competition. What some people do is they just go to the website and see if they can find pricing. What others do is they now AI, chat, Gemini, Google, right? But where do you fare against your competitors? Are you the highest price? Are you the lowest price? Are you the median? Do you know? Okay. Lastly, your ecosystem. When's the last time you checked all 8 of those connections to see if they're still a good fit? So as we come to a close here today, what I want you to do, you don't have to do it now, but this is homework for you. I want you to really take your ecosystem map of your 8 folks, right, of who you have today, and ask yourself, how can each of the people in this category help me? Who out of my ecosystem map can help me with my capability statements, okay? And this is the wrong slide. I thought I updated this. I'm so sorry. This is the wrong circle because it should say the contract support right here. Anyway, I'm only human, so I made a mistake here. But my point is, what you will do is you will take your ecosystem map and you will try to match it to a line to say, who in my ecosystem can help me with my capability statements? Is it a certified supplier consultant? Is it a peer, a friend, someone in my community? Who can help me with my capital? It's probably your capital and lending people. Guess what? If you haven't talked to them lately, go book a conversation. Do it before 2026. Go get to know your bank and start with an evaluation. Make an appointment. Go and have a set of questions. What are you doing for women-owned businesses? Just ask. You might find out they still have programs, or maybe they roll them back and they will tell you, well, we're not doing anything for women-owned businesses. We are doing things for businesses over 2 years or under 2 years, or here's some new programs. When is the last time you evaluated that relationship? Okay. Go and get to know the Watson Group. It's free. It's free to just ask, hey, I want to know before I have to go for it, where I stand with you. And if I'm not in good standing today, what would it take to be there? Okay. So again, building these relationships before you need it. Who can help you? How can your branding and marketing folks help you with one of these? Okay. Is it competitiveness that they can help you with? So anyway, that's the exercise, going around your 8 circles and asking yourself, who can help me with my 7 C's of success? The bottom line, you all, is that your supplier ecosystem is a snapshot. It's a snapshot of your foundational fitness, because many of us think we're ready, but when we do the evaluation, we're not quite there. And if you're not quite there, I don't want you to get discouraged. What that means is maybe you have to team up with somebody. Maybe you need a subcontract first, right? Maybe you're not ready to go prime. Maybe you are. Okay, but that's the honest conversation. I'll start small. I'll service other small businesses first. I'll service medium companies, and then I'll grow to larger companies. So I don't want you to get discouraged to say, oh, this means I can never play ball. This means you might have to play a little differently. But at any course, you need to know where you stand today. The bottom line is I want you all to please evaluate your ecosystem every 60 days. Every 60 days. Have a new conversation. And already, who's in your field? Who in our business directory does what you do? Get to know them. They're probably winning contracts and looking for you, right? So who's doing what you do? Have you already built alliances with them before you need it? Have you already found an RFP review buddy? That means people who will do a second look with you. You want to build these things before you need them, okay? And with that said, you all, we are closing out today. Remember, the 4 key points is make sure you identify where the gaps are in your ecosystem and what resources are still outstanding. If you do have a gap, can we fill it here at ProcuraFind? Does our map help you? Make sure you review the foundational fitness to prioritize your top 3 areas of opportunity. So the foundational fitness was that blue thing I just had up. Do y'all have a copy of that? Do you need a copy of that? I think it's in your participant materials. Also, define from your ecosystem who can support you now, next, and later. Don't try to do everything today. That's why I don't like when people bring me a whole bunch of information, because you always have to understand the difference between the signal and the noise. The signal is good. The noise is bad. Focus on your signal. Where are you signaling? People will bring you noise and you have to shut it down. So you have to do things, right, to help you to say, what is my signal right now? What is my signal next and later? And if it doesn't support you, it is a distraction. Sometimes distractions are wrapped up to look like possibilities. They are distractions if they don't move you to your next goal. So be careful of that, okay? So again, determine what resources ProcuraFind can offer your business. And with that said, I'm going to close it out and open it up to questions. Dr. Sandy, did you have your hand up?
I do. I just wanted to let them know that my email is in the chat if they want to schedule an appointment with you.
Thank you, Dr. Sandy, our Director of Operations and everything else. Thank you so much. So at this time, I will close it out, you all. I will stop sharing and I will open it up to any comments and questions, even if your comment is, oh my God, this was helpful, right? I didn't even think like this. So Danita, I see your hand up.
I just wanted to just kind of reiterate everything that Dawn Nicole is saying. She was my first corporate client. And so I don't just my small beginnings. I did the one-on-one with her. You know, I kind of did all the things. And she really gives you the blueprint to help level up your business in whatever area you have a gap in. And for anybody that's interested, I put the link in the chat for the HR readiness checklist.
Thank you so much, Tanita. I really appreciate you. Thank you. And the
Thank
book.
you.
Oh my God.
Oh, yes.
Listen, Danola, I keep forgetting I have a book. This is so bad. There is a book. The book, the book has literally, thank you, Suzette. So the book, thank you, Teresa. So the book is literally the blueprint of this. So if you don't have time to meet every single month like this, which I enjoy seeing y'all's faces, but you can now get this in the book and you can now get it in the online course. So if you want the online course version, it is $299. You get lifetime access and you get all this where you can stop, play, do all the worksheets and have fun with it. Okay. But if you just enjoy coming every month, then we're teaching you every month. And next week, we're going to talk about your 90-day strategic plan. So thank you all again. If somebody could put the link to the book in the chat. I'm sorry, I'm so not. I have to get better at promoting my own stuff, y'all. But any more questions before we go? Any thoughts or questions or just reflections on
I
that?
got a really quick question. It's a simple question also, because I've heard conflict on it. So I just want to hear what your thoughts are. And
Yes.
it's about designer capability statements. I know that's really simple, but some people say they steer away from them. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, this is so good. This is so controversial. So I'm a contrarian thinker. And that means that I don't always think like everybody else. That's good and bad sometimes, right? So I don't think you need all that, Suzette. And what I'm saying is that your first capability statement should be something you do. You do, and we actually have a video, and I hope that somebody could put it in there. We have a video that has helped about 200 people build a capability statement because the video comes with a template. So I would say do your first one on your own, make it vanilla and clinical. Then, if you want the designer version, you're going to take your vanilla boring one and you're going to have them upgrade it for you. Okay. So that's what I recommend. You don't need a designer one to get in the door. It just needs to make sense on paper. It needs to be clinical, clean at first, and you need to understand it. And then you can upgrade it on Fiverr or whoever's going to do it for you. Does that make sense, Suzette?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. And do you want us to send you the YouTube where you can just do your own vanilla using our template? It's very simple.
I know how to do both. I
Okay.
just wanted to know what your thoughts, because
Okay.
of course I want to follow your lead.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Suzette. Any more questions or thoughts before we get ready to go? Yes. Hey, Roseanne.
Quick one. Hey,
Yes.
Dawn Nicole. So you just mentioned something that interests me, and that's the subcontracting opportunities, because at this point with my business, I know I'm not ready to be a prime, but working with somebody, I'd love to kind of get up to speed in that regard, starting there. Is there a pathway that I can kind of follow for that?
Oh, I love this question. I don't think anyone's asked me. So first of all, let me just give some love to Roseanne. She's from her headquarters. So Roseanne is part of her headquarters team that's coming over. And so we welcome you here, Roseanne. What's going to happen next? See all the love we're just giving you. So what's going to happen next is you're going to be getting a discovery call very soon with one of our certified supplier consultants. And during that 15-minute call, they're going to ask you about your goals. Please mention that you're interested in being a subcontractor, because hopefully what these trained certified supplier consultants will tell you is one of the ways is knowing who else in our community does what you do. That's the first thing, is who's already winning, who might be a little bigger that you can latch on to. And the goal is, are they winning contracts today? If so, you want to introduce yourself there. There's a number of other ways as well. And once we know more about what you do, sometimes we have opportunities that means we compete for contracts, and we will reach out to different ones of you to make you a subcontractor to us. So either we will use your services directly, ProcuraFind will, or we'll pair you with other companies who do what you do. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, I actually have that call booked at 1:30 today, so I will be sure to bring that up.
Who's your CSC? Can I just ask who you're?
Sunny, I believe. Sunny.
Sunny. Okay. She was on here earlier. She's very sunny and very pregnant. So I can't wait. So awesome. Good.
Thank you.
Yes. And welcome again. Yeah. Any final questions, ladies, before we cut to the weekend? Awesome. Well, as always, thank you, ladies, for being the best part of ProcuraFind. Stick with us. We have some really exciting things coming. We just hit 2 years, y'all. So if you like what's happening today, you're going to love what's happening tomorrow.